Good morning, everybody. Today is the 22nd of June, 2023. It's 9:12 a.m. on the west coast of Canada. My name is Sydney Winston. I'm a humanist, an atheist, a Zionist, and I'll just leave it at that for now because I can't think of anything else because my mind is just racing with what's going on with this submersible issue. So, firstly, what I want to do is let's have a look at the screen. See what's. Let's catch up firstly. When we left off last night, the BBC said that the submersible had less than 10 hours. Currently, they are saying that the submersible has. What does it say here? I think they've taken that down. Yeah. I think we're going to change it to the. Yeah, we're going to change it to this. We're going to change it to this. So let's change it to like this. That. 0 hours of oxygen left. There we go. So what I want to do, of course, is to say good morning to everybody, and let's get right into it. So a little less than 2 hours ago, the BBC put up this post. Efforts to send a deep water survey craft from Jersey hits snag. In the past few hours, 2 ROVs, remote operated vehicles, have descended to help in the search for the Titan. However, efforts to fly out another ROV called Juliet, belonging to the Guernsey-based deep-sea survey firm Magellan, have hit a snag. It was initially loaded late this morning onto a U.S. military aircraft at Jersey Airport, but they struggled to fully get it on, according to Magellan's chief executive Richard Parkinson. That means they now have to take it off and wait for another aircraft to arrive. Here is what things look like in Jersey as they prepare to transport the submersible. So top one, there's a plane. That one there looks like it's a zoomed out shot of the loading. Then here we have a zoomed in shot of the loading, which didn't happen. And then the bottom, it looks like they're giving up. That's it. Okay, so the next one, we have an analysis by Victoria Gill. Let's read. Remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, that can work in deep water will be able to search the seafloor in an effort to find Titan. But conducting that search will take more precious time. This is a post from approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes ago. Blair Thornton, professor of marine autonomy at the University of Southampton, explained to me that to search a 1 kilometer square box with an ROV, you need multiple parallel lines, around 30 or so, if you are using cameras and sonar. Normally, an ROV would travel at a similar speed to a human's walk, so it is likely to take 5 to 10 hours to scan that whole area. Rather than following a set path, though, the actual operation would respond to and send the vehicle to inspect anything the ROV picks up that looks like a potential submersible. If a robotic vehicle was sent with a line to lift the submersible, that would also be a difficult operation, says Professor Thornton. The ship needs to make sure they don't entangle the cable with their main umbilical. The cable that connects and powers the ROV from the ship. And if the search area is amongst the Titanic wreck, added Professor Thornton, then managing the cable so that it doesn't get entangled would also complicate operations. Next post is from also about an hour and a half ago. Snag shouldn't set us back, says the Magellan CEO. We have some more news about the efforts to send a deepwater survey craft from Jersey to the Atlantic search zone. As we've been reporting, an attempt to fly out another remotely operated vehicle, an ROV, has hit a snag. The ROV, called Juliet, is owned by Guernsey-based firm Magellan and was loaded late this morning onto a U.S. military aircraft at Jersey Airport, but the company's chief executive confirmed there wasn't a glitch in getting on board where there was a glitch in getting on board where it didn't entirely fit in the aircraft's cargo space. The ROV has been taken off and will be loaded onto a new plane in the coming hours, according to Parkinson. It shouldn't set us back, he added. What a lot of bullshit. It's already set you back. Anyway, I'm going to just carry on here. What does this say? Debris field found. Breaking news at 8:50, which is an hour and a half ago. Debris field found, says the U.S. Coast Guard. A debris field has been discovered within the search area by an ROV near the Titanic, the U.S. Coast Guard has just announced. Experts within the Unified Command are evaluating the information. We will bring you more details shortly. Okay, Coast Guard to give an update on debris field at 1500 hours local time. With the breaking news of a debris field being found in the search, U.S. Coast Guard has announced it will hold a press conference at 1500 local time. U.S. Coast Guard, local time, 1500. A statement from the Coast Guard says the Horizon Arctic's ROV found debris on the sea floor near this Titanic wreck. Rear Admiral John Marger, the 1st Coast Guard District Commander, and Captain Jamie Frederick, the 1st Coast Guard District Response Coordinator, will be speaking. Right, that's as far as we've got. That's as far as we've got with the story up to now. The oxygen is probably run out. It's obviously run out. But they're still calling it a search and rescue. You know here? The U.S. Coast Guard says this remains an active search and rescue operation. Why would they do that? That makes no sense. So 3 o'clock local time, but local to where? So 20 GMT would be about 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, of course, 8 o'clock GMT. And we are 9 hours behind that. All right, hello Adam, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Things aren't looking good, let's face it. But what do you say? You say that debris field found, so it likely imploded at the time of communication loss. Carbon fiber subs should never be permitted again, and an independent submarine board to pass checks should be implemented in future. I'm devastated. I was kind of hoping for some kind of miracle. Yeah, me too. But hope is, as you can tell, as you can see, hope is pretty much useless. I mean, you can hope, and if there are, if luckily, coincidentally, things go well, then great. You didn't hope in vain. So, when is this? 1500 local time going to be? Well, I'm going to assume that 1500 local time is 1500 hours Eastern Standard Time. Or it could be 1500 hours Newfoundland time. They're all different. Or it could be, if it's 1500 GMT, I think they're even an hour ahead of British time. So I suspect that we're going to see a news conference at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, which is approximately 2.5 hours from now. Yeah. 2.5 hours from now? Well, I'm a little dejected, actually, because of this outcome, which seems inevitable, even though it's not official. It just seems so inevitable. Yesterday hey Adam, we kind of, I think we kind of were spot on about the implosion. Unfortunately, the story has come to an extremely tragic end, although we don't quite know the extent of the tragedy right now. I'm more concerned with, obviously, what went wrong, but I'm most concerned with what happened to the 5 people who were alive. I'm going to leave it at that. What happened to them when they were alive, and what is their current status now? Obviously, they're not alive, but what's the status of their corpse? Adam says 2 hours and 37 minutes till press conference. I guess we're going to hear the change of speech from rescue till recovery then. Rescue to recovery. Yeah. But why 2.5 hours? They're dead. That's what I don't understand. 2.5 hours. Man, this is I really can't even let you I can't even express how I feel. It almost feels like, either I was on the submarine or someone I know was on the submarine or the submersible. Oh man, just thinking about it fills me with dread. The ocean is a very unforgiving place, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very unforgiving. So let's see if we can find something more. I'm gonna just leave it back there with the. No. I'm gonna just play some music while I pitter-patter around here, okay? This looks pretty interesting. while we wait for maybe something to happen. The first 1,000 words written about Jesus. This is an article by J.H. McKenna from last November. It's a 5-minute read, everybody. 5-minute read. Are you up for it? Are you up for it? Let's go back to the chat quickly. It hits hard when there were 3 very experienced men on board. This could happen to anyone, just the wrong day, the wrong time. I just think it's likely Hull had a deficiency from listening to the experts. I agree with you. The hull was too thin. So it crumpled, I believe. Actually, you know what? In all honesty, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood for the first 1,000 words written about Jesus. Jesus is a myth, so who really gives a shit at this point? This is not the time. I don't feel like I'm in the mood for laughing at anything right now. I'm kind of feeling a little bit morose. In some small way, I think I'm grieving the loss of these 5 people and how they died. That's the most thing. That's the most intriguing thing for me. How they died. How long it took. What they felt. What they were going through. I can't imagine. Although, let's face it, we could make up hundreds of plays about what they said to each other, what happened there in the capsule. But I think I'm going to, like I say, I'm not feeling good about this at all. But I do want to be around for the what do they call it? On the debris field. But before we do that, actually, there's another post. What could the debris field be? Jonathan Amos. This report carries huge caveats. It may be something, it may be nothing. But the US Coast Guard has not posted many tweets over the past few days, so it may well be significant. Speaking to experts this week, many worried that the Titan may have suffered a catastrophic implosion as a result of a hull failure. That's what we think, right? Such a scenario could explain the debris, but again, this report may turn out to be nothing. The seafloor around the Titanic wreck is littered with all sorts of debris, not least from the great ship itself. Correct. But if they found a new debris field, my friends, then surely it's something that, with all the sonar and with all the technology sniffing around down under the water there, that if you see a new debris field which you haven't seen before, then surely that is not a nothing. That is a very big something. And the reason I say this is because my assumption here is that no debris fields were reported yesterday or early today until now. So this is something big. So I'm going to keep on top of this, but I want to get back to the chat. Mr. Spock, welcome. Good to see you. They were the first humans to experience a mind. Yeah. Adam says there are still so many questions, like how far down the sub, how far down was the sub, how long did they have, what stopped the sub from floating to the top, and who carried out checks on the sub before it went out. There's a special piece of that. There's a special piece that went in and already mapped out C around the Titanic. So I'm guessing that they think it's a new and large debris field. There you go. I agree. Well said. Um, I'm going to I'm going to come back when the update when the update is given. I'm going to watch the BBC. I'll come back if something happens beforehand, but in the meantime, there's really unless anybody wants to say something and talk about it and join me in this room here, there's really nothing else I can add until we know some more information. So what I'm going to do. Thank you, Adam. I'll see you later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break for now and come back when there's more to report, especially when there's the newscast or the update. All right. So sorry, I didn't really have much to bring to you or to report to you now, but we'll come back in a little bit and see. Take care, folks.